evening, and welcome to the Don Lane Show, presenting the biggest names from the world of entertainment. And now your host, Don Lane.
That's it. Get the wagon for this group. That's for sure. Yeah. Did you all get your Easter eggs in the foyer, by the way? Adrian, I told you to give them to the skinny security guard. You give them to the fat one, he eats them. Anyway, hey, what a week. America was shuttled and Andrew Peacock was scuttled. You know? It's awesome. Did you think about, here's something for food for thought, right? I was just thinking about this today. Chip, Ellicott, Garland, Groom, Peacock. Well, one thing's for sure, Mr. Fraser is doing it in alphabetical order, you know? Right down the line. We'll get them all out. Watch out, Zellman. No, that can't happen either. I got up, I don't know about you folks, but I got up at 7 o'clock yesterday morning to watch the Space Shuttle Columbia land. And I don't know, it still amazes me. I mean, how they can take off, make 36 orbits of the Earth, land that thing at 250 miles per hour right on target, and my secretary can't get the car into the garage without denting a fender. Weird. You know what else is, did you ever hear the expression they say, there's no more straight men left? I really mean that. You can't find a straight man anymore. Everybody these days is a comedian. It's a true story. I went to a seafood restaurant last night. And when it came time to order, I asked the waiter for a lobster tail. And the waiter said, well, once upon a time, there was this handsome lobster. Well, what you want from me, that's what. And we've got a man on tonight, this is really fascinating. We've got a man on tonight who's going to tell us all about cryonics. Now, for those of you who don't know, cryonics is the process where when people die, their bodies are frozen. As a matter of fact, Ronnie Corbett has decided that when he passes away, he wants his body to be frozen. For Ronnie, all he'll need is an ice cube tray, but we're not too concerned. A Philip! We have Stevie Wonder has just arrived from the States for his long-awaited Australian tour. His tour commences in Melbourne this weekend, so how about this to open the show? In his first exclusive live TV appearance in Australia, the 8th wonder of the world, ladies and gentlemen, Stevie Wonder! They tell me back there we've had a few calls from Brisbane and Adelaide regarding where they can see Stevie Wonder in concert. Well, unfortunately, due to his tight schedule, Stevie will only be appearing in Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth over the next couple of weeks. And by the way, while I'm at it, I'd really like to thank the Paul Dainty organization for supplying Stevie Wonder to us, and also for being so cooperative in every way to try and fix all of this up so we could do it the way we wanted to. And Paul, if you're watching, I thank you, mate, very, very much. Dainty only brings you the biggest and the best here anyway. This is what happens. And I think you should thank him, too. He brought Stevie Wonder. Okay. Tonight we're going to talk about cryonics. Now, cryonics began in America in 1964 when Robert Ettinger, a professor of physics in Detroit, argued in his book, which was called The Prospect of Immortality, that freezing the body at the moment of clinical death could stop body cells degenerating. Now, let me explain how this process works. When a person dies, they're injected with drugs designed to keep the body in as normal a condition as long as is possible. The patient is at the same time placed on a heart-lung machine to continue oxygen and circulation. At this point, the patient is transferred to a unit where a fluid is pumped through all of the blood vessels. And here, the body is cooled while the blood is washed out and replaced with a protective solution. The solution is recirculated for hours until a large percentage of the body's water is replaced by the protective chemical. At the same time, the body's temperature is being steadily lowered. After the fluid is further cooled and frozen, the body is then wrapped in protective aluminum foil, like a sleeping bag, placed in a cryogenic tank, and it's covered with liquid nitrogen. The tank is then placed into suspension, and the patient is kept frozen by continued addition of liquid nitrogen. Now, there has been a lot of controversy over the process from religious leaders and other groups who seriously question cryonics morality. Now, Simon Carter is the secretary of the Cryonics Association of Australia. He's one of only 6 people who have signed up in this country to be frozen after death. He's a 22-year-old public servant. He's from Canberra. I'd like you to meet him, and we're going to discuss this strange subject. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Carter. Here. Hello, Simon. Is it when you tell people that you have volunteered or that you have been willing to go into this process of having your body frozen after death, do they look at you like you're sort of weird?
Of course. I mean, it is obviously a very new idea. We're pioneers. There are half a dozen of us in Australia, 150 worldwide. Of course, any new idea, you talk to people about it, you get a strange, why are you doing that? Why are you doing something new?
How long was this process with you before you made this final decision?
I have been thinking deeply about it, investigating it for the past 4 years. I've only recently signed on. In the course of my investigations, I've been over twice to the United States. I've met the people involved. They seem trustworthy to me. I think they know what they're doing. I have great confidence in them. I think ultimately they will be able to bring me back.
Okay, will you tell me, we've gone through what the procedure is, what they do to you physically in there to try and extend this lifetime, or whatever they call it. But what is the procedure to have this done to you? I mean, as far as finance, as far as paying for it is concerned, and maintaining it and so forth, what happens?
It is, of course, a very expensive operation. I, for instance, have a life insurance policy for 100,000 Australian dollars. Now, say I die, say by accident in a few weeks' time, right? They will fly a team of surgeons out from the United States. You're looking at a cost of some $10,000. They will suspend me. It's an expensive operation. You're looking at something like $15,000. They'll jet me back to the storage facility in San Francisco, near San Francisco. The remainder of the money will be placed in a trust fund. It'll be invested, and the interest generated will keep me maintained, I think, for centuries.
What protection or what security do you have against somebody you're ripping you off in this? I mean, some man taking this money and deciding to leave.
That's the obvious question.
How long a period, wait a minute, before we go any further, just a minute, I just realized something I'm neglecting here. How long a period of time are we talking about you being frozen?
My guess, and I can't foresee the future with 100% accuracy, is of the order of a few centuries. I'd say 200-300 years. Rather than several decades or several thousand years. But the human body in cryonic suspension does not rot. All reactions are stopped.
Well, wait a minute. Well, okay, all right. I will grant you that maybe it doesn't rot when I say it, but I mean, you don't know what's going to happen to it when they uncover it. I don't know, you don't even know who's going to be around in 200 years to uncover it.
Okay, we have the commercial organization TransTime, which actually carries out the operation and maintenance. We have a Guardian Society, a non-profit society. This society consists of people who themselves wish to be frozen. They're not going to destroy their society. They're going to pass it on to people who themselves intend to be frozen. I think that's our best guarantee. There's no other way.
But you don't really, do you really believe that you have a guarantee that in 200 years they're going to say, oh, it's time for Simon, we better get him out of here? Right?
Not a guarantee.
No.
For sure, not a guarantee.
What about an electrical failure? With my luck, there'd be an electrical failure. I'd end up in a bucket somewhere or something.
I can tell you're a pessimist.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just don't. It isn't so much that I'm a pessimist. It's when there's so many people involved. I begin to become concerned about whether they're not going to look at those cylinders and say, hey, look, we got the money. What do you want to bring these guys to life
These
for?
cylinders aren't connected to the electrical supply.
They're not?
They're not.
Ah.
No. They're like gigantic thermos flasks.
Hmm.
They are topped up because there is some boil-off, of course. Regularly, people check the levels of liquid nitrogen and top it up. They're checked very regularly, and alarm systems are installed on the capsules in case anything goes
Well,
wrong.
how do you think you'd adjust to a life 200 years from now?
I think it would be fun to try. I think it would be preferable to death, oblivion, not being around anymore.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Supposing you live to be 70 years old, and you suffer from rheumatoid arthritis, and well, I'm just giving you an example, and it's very difficult for you. I mean, why would you want to be frozen and come back 200 years later with rheumatoid arthritis?
I mean, you know, I think that 200 years hence, if they have the ability to bring me back, they'll have the ability to cure rheumatoid arthritis.
So this is really basically a gamble on your part. You're saying, I'm willing to invest this money because the other alternatives
Invest.
are...
That's the word.
Invest.
I've spent 4 years looking at it. I don't think it's a reckless gamble. To me, it is an investment.
Well, the other alternatives, of course, are that they cremate you and you'll end up on somebody's shelf for 200 years, sitting there, going, oh, that's Uncle Fred in a jar. Or they bury you in a box and who knows what happens to you then. So you're saying at least...
Pretty poor treatment. I mean, you know, but, if you are suspended, there is a chance you will come back. If you are buried, if you are cremated, there's no chance. My money is no good to me when I'm dead. I think it is the best purpose to which it can be put is to put in suspension.
Freeze you and then suspend you, yeah. Have they performed experiments with human beings in this area? I mean, we know about animals. I'm about to show them something with animals.
Quite
But
a fascinating tape it is,
Yeah.
the animal one. No, but then they do experiments on animals, and this is regarded like they test new drugs on animals before they test them on humans.
well, what about humans, though? I mean, have there been any humans that have been frozen and brought back to life?
No.
No.
Not yet. Though in a certain operation, the heart bypass operation, the human body is cooled to a low temperature, certainly not freezing, for periods of up to half an hour while they perform the operation.
But they're not clinically dead.
That's actually very vague at that point.
As to whether they are.
I wouldn't like to say. Maybe we should have a surgeon here to say.
All right. Maybe you should. You're the one's going to be frozen. I don't care. Well, let me show you first. I have to show you this here. This is an experiment that they did on animals here. And they used a hamster. And we just want to show you what they proved that they can do with this process. Now, we've shortened this down here. There the animal is in a cooling cylinder where they're trying to slow down the blood flow process. And then they keep cooling it and keep doing it until the animal is frozen. You can see that there. And this lady is pumping air through it to keep whatever the blood and things flowing through it. Now there's the animal. Now that animal there is frozen and is clinically dead. The electrodes they have attached to it are giving them a reading on the animal's reaction. And what they did was you must remember that this freezing process has to be done very slowly. Simon will tell us why in a moment. But we've speeded up this film. This film lasts about 3.5 or 4 minutes, but there you are. Now that hamster was frozen and was dead and is back to life. What kind of shape he's in now, I don't know, because you can't ask him, you know. But at least life signs and vitality have come back in that hamster that actually was frozen.
To some extent, hamsters can't display much intelligence. They can learn mazes. They can do simple things. Some experiments that TransTime have done indicate that memory has been retained.
Well, let me ask you two questions of what I think are social importance, okay? The first question being, from religious people, they talk about what happens to your soul. Well, you're obviously not a religious man.
No, but I don't see a barrier. There have been religious people involved.
Yeah.
They argue along the lines, God has given me this gift of life. If cryonic suspension gives me life back, that will be just another miracle of God.
But if you're clinically dead, isn't your soul supposed to leave your body?
Well, I don't know. People seem very vague about the soul.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about the soul. I don't believe in it myself.
Yeah.
I'll agree that very complex biochemical reactions go on in my brain and my body. But whether that is a soul is
Good.
I don't think
All
so.
right. Well, all right, then one other question. Let's say a young man is 25 years old, and he looks around and he said, I don't like this anymore. I don't care about this place. I don't like the way it's happening. I think it'll be a better life 150 years from now, so I want to have myself frozen now. What happens then?
I can't see why. The motivation behind cryonics is that life is basically good to live, despite its problems.
Yeah.
Why should anyone want to do this?
Well, I mean, I'm hypothetically saying if someone, well, my reason being that, going back to what I talked to you about before, if you're 70 years old and you die and you wake up and you're 70 years old, what good is that? But if you're 25 and you wait 150 years, I mean, you've got a whole lifetime in front of you 150 years from now.
Well, I don't know. I haven't met anybody who wants to do that. I don't.
You don't want to?
No, I don't want to do that.
You'd rather live a full life?
Living as
Well,
long
what
as
if someone
possible.
did want to do that, though? Could they be frozen then?
That, by today's legal standards, that would be murder. A frozen person is regarded as being dead. Full stop.
Yeah, but if that's the case, and a frozen person is legally dead, then there's no chance for you to come back. If they bring you
No,
back
I
to
think
life
you're getting
after
confused. I mean, a legal definition is not a biochemical. It's not a biological definition. If our technology improves and we can bring back a frozen person, it doesn't matter what the law back in 1981 decided.
Oh. But I'm saying he's not dead, though. If he's frozen, he's not dead, is he? I mean, when you're frozen...
I don't think so.
You
But
don't think so?
I operate in 20th century Australia.
Right,
and
okay.
what the law of 20th century Australia says is that a frozen person is a dead person.
Right.
Doesn't matter what happens in the future,
So once the old icicles hang off your nostrils, that's it, right? Yeah.
according to the law.
Right, okay. And how much would it cost a person if they wanted to do this?
Well, I told you, I have a policy for $100,000. I think you'd need a minimum of something like, what, $65,000.
And if an Australian person wanted to do this,
They
Where-
have to sign up.
yeah, but there's
With
no place here for
time.
them to store them. Do they have to go to America?
Yes, it would have to be.
Put you in a cylinder and travel you to America?
Of course, most people die with some warning of their death.
Right.
This, many people seem surprised, but over 80% of people get at least a week's warning of their death.
But you'd
So
still
we
have,
could get them to a nursing home over in California, say,
in California.
and have trans-time personnel standing by, ready, as soon as the doctor signs a legal death certificate.
If I were you, I wouldn't see America any other way. Anyway, thank you for coming in and talking with us, will you? We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Hang in there. Thank you. Since we were talking with Simon about a liquid nitrogen, which they use in the freezing process, this is the stuff that they're talking about that goes in there. We invited Murray Patterson along. Murray is a student at Monash University, studying zoology, and in his studies, or in the studies with the other students in there, they come in contact with liquid nitrogen every day. So we thought we'd get somebody in that could bring us in some so we could have a look at it and also talk about it. Say hello to Murray Patterson, will you, please? Thanks. All right. Now, what is liquid nitrogen? It has to be maintained in this sort of a container, I suppose.
This is like a thermos flask,
Yeah.
like your ordinary coffee thermos flask, and it'll stay. At the moment, it's boiling. And it'll stay like
we've
that
got
until it
something in there.
evaporates,
We
yeah.
actually have a banana in there.
Right,
so
there's a banana in there at the moment, and this evaporation is because the stuff's boiling. It's boiling at about minus 195 degrees Celsius.
So if you left this cap off, this whole thing would evaporate,
Yeah,
right?
right. It'll all go.
Right. And how difficult is it to get? Is it...
Well, it's a sort of process of liquefaction. It's a sort of an involved industrial thing, which well, you just take nitrogen 78% of the air, and they can derive the liquid nitrogen from that.
Okay, well, let's pour some in this dish. So, oh, but let's take the banana
Yeah,
out
we'll
first.
take the banana out.
You better do that with the gloves, okay? You need this. You could burn yourself in this. It'll take dry ice, right?
Yeah, right.
If you touched it with
cold.
your bare fingers, you would... it's colder than dry. Hang on, we got a stuck banana. All right, now this banana was fresh and firm when we stuck it in just before the commercial break. There it is.
Well, there you go.
There you are. If you just hit it lightly with a hammer, it'll all just shatter. So it gives you an idea. Oops, hang on. Let's just do it easy like so you can see a piece of... You see? Just easy. We've got some other things which we're going to be putting in here. Let's stick this... I'd like to stick this lamb chop in there now because I want to see what's going to happen. So that can stay in there while we're...
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's put this down and we'll pour some in there first and we can have a look. I'm sorry. Okay. But this stuff, of course, I must explain, in cryonics, what they're talking about in cryonics is not having this stuff come in contact with the body, but actually surround it to keep it cold. So you can imagine, what is the temperature of this thing here?
It's minus 195 degrees.
Whoops, jeepers, are you okay?
Yeah, it's okay. We just do it slowly.
Yeah.
We'll retain most of it.
Well, I didn't know where the end of it was.
That's good.
Okay.
So the trouble is it evaporates fairly quickly, as you can see.
Minus 195 degrees.
Celsius. Yeah, right, that should do it.
Okay, there we go. I don't know if you see, yeah, you can see that boiling away in there. We wanted to try a couple of experiments. Let's see if we can... I put an egg in there. I don't know what shape it's going to come out in. I can't even see it.
Well, we've got a cracked egg here.
Is it cracked? Oh, I broke the yolk. Darn.
So like yours sunny side up.
No. Oh, no, that's no good. That
It's
came
not
out
done
really
yet.
messy. No. Okay, put the chop in here. Okay. So obviously, different things have to be in there for a different amount of time, depending on the density
That's
of
right,
whatever.
and the amount of liquid inside them.
We did this experiment once before on television when we had man on from a kids program. But I'd like to show you. There's a flower. It's all soft and nice. But just to show you what can happen to... Is that enough?
Yeah, it looks pretty good to me.
Yeah? Hang on. Give it one more shot on this side. Yeah. There you have the same beautiful flower. Looking terrific. But if you do that, it all just shatters, you see? So we thought we'd just give you this quick little experiment and little look. How about, what do you think would happen with that chop by now?
I don't know. We'll have
Does
to
it
have a
need
look
more
and
time?
see. It might need a little bit more time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Oh, well, we'll leave it in.
You want to put the ball in as well?
Put the ball in where?
Yeah, put it in top.
In there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And as it floats off.
Wonderful, cooking rubber and meat together. A lot of you wives have done that many times. Now, that's a rubber ball. So what happens to rubber? Does it change the whole...
Yeah, it'll freeze its solid fairly quickly. As you can see, it's really pliable at the moment.
Yeah.
You just slide it in there.
Yeah. So, oops, look out. Coming out the front here. Hold it. Get out of the way, there.
Here we are.
Wait, don't hold up to sign the egg. The egg is finished. Hang on. Let me just see what's happened to the egg.
Sorry, love, your egg is frozen to the bottom of the plate here.
I can't get the egg out, David.
Well, we'll try the rubber first.
Okay. And that was a rubber hose.
It's a rubber hose.
Oops.
It's quite solid. Just give it a tap here.
Right. Well, anyway, it really gives you an idea of the freezing power of this stuff. Let's take the chop out now because we've got a bone in there and fat on it and meat on it. I just want to see what the effect would be on...
And the rubber ball.
And the rubber ball. Oh, I forgot about
the
that.
ball's done yet. We can drop it in. Oh, yeah, that looks good done to me.
Oh, yeah, that ball's done.
That's the ball.
That was your rubber ball, and here comes your chop.
And there's the
Yeah.
chop.
Right.
Then a smash.
Oh. Anyway, we just wanted to show what liquid nitrogen could do and what a great freezing agent it really is, except that who knows if all of that stuff is going to work. And I'm not trying to tell you should go have your body frozen. Thanks very much, mate. Thanks for coming in and saying that. We'll take it up for you. That ball is coming back to some sort of a... What? Move back to my seat. Back over there. Is that where you want me, over there? Hold a cold ball. Thank you. It's okay. This is one of my favorite subjects, women. You know, that fascinating, many-sided, occasionally fickle creature we all fall in and out of love with. Well, tonight the girls from our ballet give us an extra special look at what it means to be a woman, and that no two women are alike. The song's called, appropriately enough, I'm Every Woman, and what better singer than Mary Jane Boyd? Here she is with our ballet in I'm Every Woman. MJB, you got it.
I'm every woman, it's calling me. Anything you want done, it naturally. I'm every woman, it's all in me. I can read your thoughts right now, every word from A to Z. I can cast a spell, the secrets you can't tell. Make special brew, put fire inside of you. Anytime you feel danger or fear, send for me. I will appear, 'cause I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. Like rain on through the sea. I can make a rhyme of confusion in your mind. And when it comes down to some good old-fashioned love, that's what I've got to be high. 'Cause I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. I'm every woman, it's all in me. I can read your thoughts right now, every word from A to Z. Cause I'm the one, and it shall be done.
Thank you very much. We're about to meet one of the most talented people in the business, a man who has developed his whole career here. To many of you, the Gordon Chater story is familiar. Gordon established himself as the zany anything-goes star of theatrical reviews in Sydney, and he then became the star of the amazingly successful Mavis Bramston show. And then he went on to achieve even more popularity as Old Man Magooly, and My Name's Magooly, What's Yours? And suddenly, and it all seemed to happen just like that. It seemed as though Gordon Chater's career was finished. Then in 1976, he was offered the part of Robert O'Brien in a play called The Elocution of Benjamin Franklin. And Gordon took the biggest gamble in his career, and the rest is now history. He's collected a host of awards both here and overseas, rave reviews overseas, for his brilliant portrayal of the homosexual transvestite speech therapist whose sex life is mainly a fantasy affair. Gordon now lives and successfully works in New York. He's back in Australia. He's going to be one of the stars of a play. He plays Sir in the new play, The Dresser, with our old friend Warren Mitchell. And he's here with us tonight. He's just arrived in Australia. I think it's only a couple of days he's been here. And happy I am to have him here. Really talented man. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello, Mr. Gordon Chater. You got it. Yeah. That's I just realized that you would have been away and not known about that song. That's a Peter Allen song called I Still Call Australia Home, which has become a very popular number. Yeah. And we'll be playing that for you because I think that's what you think, you know.
I do. It's
Is
my
it
home.
nice to be back?
Oh, yes. It's fascinating. I mean, it's as though I haven't been away. Very moving, because you get into a cab and the man at the cabbie says, "G'day, Charlie," like, you know, I was there yesterday.
Right, yeah.
And Sydney is breathtaking, so is Melbourne, what I saw of it this afternoon. So much development, you can't believe it's all happened in 3.5 years.
Yeah, that's right, too. It's hard to believe it's been 3.5 years. I mean, it seems like 2 minutes ago you were
Well, I don't know, life is very full and very lucky. I'm very blessed, and it goes so quickly.
You're a little full at the moment.
Yes.
How much weight have you put on here?
I put on about 50 pounds. Sorry about that.
Obviously, obviously not on purpose. You've done that with living in the States or living in New York.
Yes, well, I suppose, I don't know, I find it very difficult to take off weight. I tried that Scarsdale memorial diet, you know, the one where the man was killed. And
no, what was it? What do you mean?
you know the famous Scarsdale diet, the Dr. Turner who was murdered.
Oh, right, yes,
And
yes.
so I call it the Scarsdale memorial diet. And I took 31 pounds off. But then I had a bust on, you know, Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you know that. So, it's you know, it is some ice cream, and so it all came back again.
If you like it, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
and I'm getting old now. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm fat and jolly.
Did you expect to have this sort of success off the elocution of Benjamin Franklin?
No, I thought the play, I really believed when I read the play, that the play would go all around the world, because it was a unique and brilliantly written play, albeit written by a 24-year-old Australian. I knew that it had to move a huge audience all over the world, but I didn't know that I was going with it, because when the Americans bought it, they bought it for an international star, and it was handed to a lot of stars who didn't really want to learn you know, all those words and everything and gamble on it when a movie would come up. They didn't want to be tied down when there's the big money in movies.
Yeah.
So I was lucky. I think I got the role overseas. Well, there were two reasons. That was one reason. Also, I must give credit to Hal Prince and Stephen Sondheim, who saw me play it in Sydney and called New York and said, "Look, you're looking for an international star, but this guy has created it. You must take him over." And I think that's part of the story, too.
You must, I would have never thought that, I never called you Charlie. I always call you Gordon, so I have to say Gordon. But I never expected you to settle in, like, New York. I always thought of Gordon Chater as someone who would sweep London or live in Hollywood or something, but why have you chosen New York?
Well, I've always loved New York. Before, when I was a young man, when I was about 14 years old, on vacation from school in England, and my father said, "Now go and get a job." This was 1936. And I got a job as a cabin boy on the Mauritania and got to New York. And it was the first time I'd seen it in reality. I'd seen it in movies. And I think it has to be one of the most exciting cities in the world, especially if you're interested in the theater, movies, show business, television, and all those things. It's kind of now the creative hub of it all. And that fantasy has always gone on with me. Then, after World War II, I was privileged and lucky to become an Australian here and became an actor. And still, when I had the chance to have a vacation, I would always go, if I could afford it, go to New York to see the theatre, and see the theatre in London to, you know, measure one's standards and keep up to date. And never thinking that I would ever be allowed to work there. One had this fantasy, and it's the elocution of Benjamin Franklin that made it possible, because the process of getting a green card, allowing an actor to, a foreign actor to work there, is really horrendous in hindsight. But the producers that took me over to America asked me if they minded if they applied for a green card, because they thought the play was going to run much longer than it did in New York, and they didn't want to replace me. They wanted me to do it. And I said, "You think you can get me a green card? Because I'd love to work in America."
It's a very difficult thing for Australia.
Oh, it's very difficult indeed. And, after a long process of going to the Federal Plaza and the Department of Immigration and going through endless examinations, and then they do a process of going around the world to see if you have a record, and you have a health thing, and you have to fill in forms like this, and you wait and wait and wait, and finally the wonderful moment came when I have the green card, and I have every privilege of an American citizen, except that I can't vote and I can't become the president, which is a pity because they need me.
What about New York? Does it worry you? I mean, everybody talks about New York, how scary it is sometimes.
Well, I think, you see, you have to think of the whole population of Australia in one city, which is what New York is. And so it's very crowded, and it's relative. I don't know what the statistics are, but when you ask that question, I think, supposing you added up every assault and every crime that happens in Australia in a day and put it all into one city, I think maybe it's relative and would probably be the same as New York. Of course one's cautious, and of course the most horrendous things happen. I don't go on the subway late at night unless it's between 42nd Street and 96, where I get off on the express, where I live, but I wouldn't go much further afield. I don't think I'd go to Brooklyn, certainly not the Bronx. Border Patch.
Yes.
I wouldn't do that. You are aware, I mean, there are horrendous things that happen in the street. In Times Square during daylight, people are stabbed. This happens. On the other hand, you can be killed crossing Castlereagh Street by a car if you're not looking, you know, if you're not cautious. But people don't think about it. There is a great deal of security. I think subconsciously one...
Do you run into weird people?
Oh, it's full of bizarre people.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, one day I was rushing down 8th Avenue, which, you know, is slightly seedy.
Yeah.
And I was rushing down 8th Avenue to get to 46th Street to go to dinner. And I was late. And I got to the intersection of 46th and 8th Avenue, and the lights were wrong, so I had to wait there. And while I'm waiting, agitating, dying to get across, this beautiful girl comes up to me with a baby and says, "Would you like to buy my baby?" She was serious. No, she was serious. And I said, because not thinking, well, I really can't do it now, I'm sorry. But, and then I thought afterwards, maybe, you know, maybe she wanted to sell her baby for money for drugs. I
Or
mean,
something
it's
like that.
something
Yeah,
horrendous.
Yeah. What about old friends? You're going to hook up with old friends. I know Gwenny Plum from The Young Doctors.
Oh, yes, we've spoken on the telephone.
Barry
and
Creighton.
Barry Creighton, yes, I'm in Barry Creighton's apartment. He's in Melbourne now, and he's making a movie soon. Yes, I'm in his apartment in Sydney. Oh, yes, I've been on the phone non-stop when I haven't been, you know, yakking away on the talk shows.
Do you know Warren Mitchell from another time?
Well, no, I've never met him, but I think this is very exciting that I'm working with him, because I don't know whether Australia knows that he got every conceivable award in England for playing American Willie Loman in Death of a Salesman at the National Theatre. And just before I left New York, he's had, such acclaim in the press for his Shylock in television's Merchant of Venice, made by the BBC. And, of course, his King Lear here, Alf Garnett, and now he's going to play another role that is so fantastically different. I think it's just wonderful to be working with him, and Ruth Cracknell, and a cast of 8 of us altogether.
Two very talented guys.
And it is a stunning play. I never thought I would have a role in a play of the quality of The Elocution of Benjamin again, but I have to say that Ronald Harwood's play, although it has no controversy, no deviation, no messages, and no swear words in it, but it is a play as riveting.
And in spite of all those setbacks, it's going to be a hit, right?
Well, I don't know. You never know that, but unfortunately, I mean, I just hope that what happened with Benjamin won't happen with this, which is we played Benjamin with all those notices in Australia, and even since I've been back, every other person says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you know, I tried to see it, but of course we left it till the last moment and couldn't get in." Well, this time we have 6 weeks in here, 6 weeks in Sydney, 6 weeks in Melbourne.
Well, here's your date. You open in Sydney on May 22nd for 6
right.
weeks, and then the Comedy Theatre down here in Melbourne on July 7th. Charlie, it's good to have you back.
Thank you so much,
Lovely
Tom.
episode. It's
Thank
better
you.
for us, really. Well, to say, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in a minute. We've got The Wheel coming up with Bertram. A lot of laughs. Hang in there. We'll be back.
On Don's Wheel tonight, you could win this exciting new Toyota Corona CS manual sedan valued at around $7,680 on the road. Your new Toyota comes to you with the compliments of Pit Stop Motors of South Yarra, St Kilda and Elstonwick, one of Australia's leading Toyota dealers. And don't forget, Pit Stop Motors want your business. And from British Paints, your choice of pine wood furniture to the value of $2,000, plus timber finishes products to enhance its natural beauty. British Paints timber finishes would never had it so good. and your choice of $1,200 worth of famous Spalding sports equipment. You can choose Spalding golf balls, a set of XL4 golf clubs, tennis and squash rackets, or Spalding balls for any sport. And from Namco, this Contessa Chrome velvet and glass top dining setting, a Modfern table, a Fraser ironing table, a Princeton stainless steel cookware set, an electric fast cooker, and an outdoor gas grill and oven, total value around $1,500. Or from Carpet Call, your choice of Comfrey carpet to the value of $1,500. With over 70 stores throughout Australia, Carpet Call's enormous buying power gives you great savings, and the fabulous Baldwin Fun Machine, the organ you can play even if you've never had a single music lesson in your life. Baldwin dealer will make it so easy for you, value $1,599.
May I ask you, strange alien, is it 2075 yet?
No, not quite. But did they get you up too soon?
Yes, the alarm went off too early.
Yes. How long have you been frozen like this?
Since 1981.
Is that right? Yes. A long time.
I used to work with a man called Don Lane.
Not here anymore.
And he had that nut come in who believed in cryonics, and I fell for it.
Yeah.
Bang, in the fridge I went.
Is it very cold? And if you...
This actually, Don, really is. I have decided to go for cryonics.
Is that right?
They have frozen me. This is my little bag. I'm going to be frozen until the year...
What's this bag for?
Well, all the things that I'll take. For example, my nulla nulla.
Oh, this is your nulla nulla.
Would go nowhere without my nulla nulla.
Yes, right.
Also, you see, history may not report exactly what happened in 1981, in the 80s generally.
Yeah.
So I've got a photograph here of our 3 prime ministers for 1980.
Right.
There we go.
I think that's very good, yes.
I also have here...
This is your traveling kit,
yes,
is it? Yes, right.
It may interest people in the year 3000, the sort of rot people were listening to, so I've got a copy here of your record.
Yes.
I also have a photograph of the man I worked with so happily for so many years. One of his earlier shots there. Does he look lovely?
Yes. Very good.
Of course, I'll
This
probably...
is all before you were frozen.
Yes.
You can't drink any beer when you're frozen, though, can you?
No, but I will take a gross of butter menthols.
What for?
You know how easily I catch cold.
Oh, yeah.
I also am taking a photograph of a dear old friend of mine, but more than likely, he'll still be around then. I'm taking this check for $1 million, just in case I feel like a cup of coffee.
What was that
Am I starting to flake?
No, you're not. It's your hot cross bun icing is coming off your face.
I tell you what, I wouldn't like you to light me and say a prayer. And of course, I'd go nowhere without my Varna crumble.
Oh, that's right. There you go. How could you go anywhere without that?
Don, would you ever consider this? Would you ever consider cryonicking yourself?
You're being frozen?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really have to think about it, don't you? I mean,
Would you like to wake up, say, be just our luck, you know, to go together, be thrown in there into the fridge, and also be woken up in the year 3000, and on one side there'd be Kamal, on the other side Philip Brady. Wouldn't go with it. Would you like half my Varna crumble?
Oh, yes, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Are we going to eat it now?
Oh, why not?
Yes,
Why not?
2,000-year-old crumble.
Yes. Good luck. Let's see how it's worked.
Yeah.
No, I think so. Only you.
Not bad.
Not bad at all, right?
No, for 2,000
Yeah,
years
good.
old. Yeah.
I'd be
They send you a case of these, didn't
Listen, I'd like you to know.
they? Wow.
I'm taking 4 hours. to get like this.
You've never looked better.
It's taken me 25 years
When
to
you
get
go
here.
home and Patty sees that beautiful hair, your grey hair looks sensational.
I know what'll happen. Patty has very dim lighting at home. I'll walk in, she'll say, "Your two ladies coming home soon." Would you like to meet our first contestant?
I certainly would.
I've got nowhere to stick my vial of crumble.
Oh, hang on.
Our first Oh, Don, you'll love...
Opportunity missed. What?
You'll love our first contestant.
Yes.
It's Michael O'Leary of
Yes,
Carmichael.
it's Michael
Court,
O'Leary.
Leopold in July.
Oh, Michael O'Leary, how are you?
Hello, Michael. Good to see you.
Don, nice to meet you. Hello.
Are you fitting well?
Yes,
Good.
What did Mrs. O'Leary do?
She was the one who knocked the lamp over, didn't she?
She knocked over the lamp and
In
burned
Chicago.
Chicago down.
Is that only a... Is that a fact or a fable?
It's supposed to be I think it's more of a...
What year was it? About
fact
19...
table.
19...
Early 1900s, I think. Late 1890, 1900.
Was it in all the papers at the time?
Yeah, probably. I think it was all the papers started the fire,
Yeah.
actually.
How you doing, Michael?
Yeah, it's very good, Bert.
That's good.
Well, that's it. What do you do for a living, Michael?
I'm a waterside worker.
Ah!
How are you?
Yes.
Oh, well, it's nice to see you moving.
With the strength.
Don't make it too obvious, Michael. How are things down there?
Yeah, it's good.
Still having your work breaks? Only a joke, boys. Only a little joke if you're watching.
Only joking, yeah,
Only
right.
joking, yes, right, yes.
What team you barrack for?
Geelong.
Geelong?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well, we've all got our failings, haven't we, Michael? What number did you want, mate?
Number 8.
No, any particular reason?
No.
No reason.
No.
You don't have to give a reason. You walk down the wharf, there's no reason to be given. Down that way, and all the very best.
I don't
Good
think
luck
you
to
should
you.
change that grey hair.
Also on the wheel tonight, you could win a set of 4 Dunlop Steelmax radial tires plus $1,000 cash. Steelmax gives you a safe, tenacious grip for thousands of kilometres. And a week's holiday for two at the new Greenmount Gold Coast Super Resort, flying there with TAA the friendly way. Greenmount offers loads of facilities and activities for a really memorable holiday. And $1,000 cash and $200 worth of toys from Child Guidance, the brand name when you're looking for a complete range of play and development fun toys to educate babies through to 10-year-olds. And Adriatic Furniture's classically designed bedroom suite finished in Italian walnut. Available exclusively at Adriatic Furniture, Coburg, the home of elegant living.
Well, you've got a chance here. Big chance at the car, Michael, I'll tell you. Oh, a little fast.
No, it's number 7.
It's number
We've got a
7.
wharf again, has to be a watch. They've got thousands of them. There you go.
We can't do anything about the wheel moving around.
Although it might
That's
not
all right.
necessarily be the watch. Just hang on a sec.
That's right. You've got 2 prizes here.
Oh, yeah, you could take either the Bamix package, which is a selection of Bamix appliances. The value is...
Do you realize she was 1 number away from winning the caravan?
What did you start on?
8.
Oh, wouldn't you be buttered on both sides?
Yes, wouldn't you, man?
Just your luck. How are the boys going down the wharves, by the way? Give them our best, won't you?
Yes, I will.
Do you know Big Ray down there? He's not
Big
made of
Ray.
money?
No, I know little Bert.
Do you?
Yeah.
How's little Bert going?
Yeah, good.
Good. Tell him to mind his own business. Right. Well, you got the chat. No, little Bert's got a good sense of humour. Little Bert's about 6'5", if it's the bloke I'm thinking about. Or is he really little?
He's really little this way.
How tall?
Yeah, 4'11".
4'11". Give him
Yeah.
a belt across the face. You've got the chance of either a Bamix package, a selection of Bamix appliances, the value's around $1,200, okay? Or the Citizens Watches, $1,200 worth of Citizens Watches and clocks from the range at Proud's the Jewellers. What do you reckon, mate?
I'll take the watches.
You'll take the watch? Okay.
Good line of
It's a
watches,
superb
mate.
collection of Citizen watches and clocks to the value of $1,200 from the complete range available at Proud's, Australia's national jeweller.
See if you can get one of those with all the stopwatches and things in it. It's very good to have. Yeah, it gives you alarms and everything, honest.
Have containers made much difference down the wharves? I mean...
Not in Geelong.
No, oh, you're in Geelong, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different branch
Yeah.
completely.
That's right. In Melbourne it has.
Yeah, but not in Geelong. Why not in Geelong? Because they don't take
we
many
don't
container
take
ships.
containers down there.
Why not?
Mainly bulk cargoes.
Yeah. What sort of stuff do you knock? What sort of stuff comes in? What sort of stuff do you handle, mainly?
I've never heard of anything falling off a container.
You know something? I used to drink at a pub in North Melbourne many years ago. There used to be a bloke there, I won't mention his name, although it was a nickname, and he declared he could get anything for you at the right price. And we tried him out one night. We thought we'd really get him, had a few beers, and we said, we'll call him Mick. We said, Mick, we want an F.E. Holden. He said, what colour?
I think he's working in Geelong now.
Is he? Give him my best, and the car's going beautiful.
What's up, Doc, is the catchphrase of which popular rabbit? Brer Rabbit, Bugs Bunny, or the Easter Bunny?
Bugs Bunny.
You got it. All right, enjoy the party.
All the best, mate. You'll love that. Give the boys my best, won't you?
We're going to take a break.
Back in the... Welcome welcome. If you've just tuned in, I'm replacing Bert for the evening. I really am melting, slowly but I might keep the grey in there.
I think the grey looks terrific.
Would you like to flake me off? Would that do anything for you? Yeah, there you go. Got some real skin there, Don.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping. You're not kidding me. You're having your face waxed.
I had not.
Women have their legs waxed, you know.
Yeah?
Their bodies waxed.
Why would they do that, Don?
It takes all the excess hair off.
You think I'd do that?
You don't have any.
Would you? What a foolish thing to say. We just might like to go, Gray, then all of a sudden the transplant's not to work. Would you like to meet a second contestant?
Yes.
Heather Guthrie of the Post Office Box 358 in Clare in South Australia.
Hello, Heather.
Hello, Don. How are you?
I'm very well, my love. How's things in South Australia?
Oh, really good, thanks. Bit dry. Could do with some rain.
Yeah? Well, we'll send some over.
Oh, I wish it would.
Just a minute. Would you arrange for her to have some rain? When do
Yes,
you want
certainly.
it?
Pardon?
When do you want it?
Oh, about now would be good.
Partner, can you arrange some help?
You have to try a bit harder than that.
That's Scandinavian, isn't it? Hello, Heather.
Hello, Bert. How are you?
I'm fine. I've just suddenly realised, and no one else has thought of this, of course, with all the silver paper, my body is not breathing. And it means I'm getting no oxygen into my body. But I think I'll be... What happened? Is it 3,000 yet?
No,
Are you still doing the bloody show? Well, didn't that fat leg take over? Heather, I'm on the floor for you, love.
Bert, I'd like to congratulate you on your...
Hang on, will you please hold it down? Bert's got the floor.
Thank you very much. That's very...
Good.
Thank you, Heather. I can just imagine an interstate or overseas gentleman being told, see that guy there with the stupid makeup on? He won the gold. Can you imagine? What number would you like, Lo?
Oh, I think I'll start at number 1.
Okay, start at the top, right?
Okay.
Here, number 1. Number 1. Here we go. 1,
All right, good
2,
luck, Heather. Here
3.
we go.
Also on the wheel tonight, you could win this line of fountain pen and wallet by St. DuPont. Excellence of design and craftsmanship are the hallmark of all St. DuPont products, distributed by Garci Proprietary Limited. And imagine a week for two at the Don Hotel Casino Darwin, flying first class with TAA the friendly way. Your exciting week includes luxury suite breakfasts and dinner, over $1,700 in value. And from Bamex Australia, a selection of their superb European appliances, including the incredible Bamex food machine. It's light, versatile, and rinses clean after use. And $1,200 cash from Linda, the electric blanket recognised throughout Australia as being a product of finest quality. You can be sure to sleep wonderfully warm with Linda. And from National, the 63cm Slim Sonic full-colour television featuring push-button Magic Line tuning, plus the newly designed National upright vacuum cleaner.
Nice trip, Heather.
11 for Heather Guthrie of a box number in Clare, South Australia.
This could be a terrific prize for you. Now, you've got a great choice here. Hang on, Bert will tell you about it.
Look, you can take a beautiful trip or you can win some cash for yourself, Heather. You can go to the Don Hotel Casino, another enterprise by Don Lane. A week for two at the Don Hotel Casino in Darwin. You'll fly first class with TAA, okay?
Yes.
Or you can get for yourself, with the compliments of Linda, the electric blanket experts, $1,200 cash. Now, what do you want? The week for two at the Don Hotel Casino in Darwin, which is a magnificent spot, or $1,200 cash with the compliments of Linda?
I'll take the cash, thanks, sir.
You'll take the cash. Okay. Now, the bad news is it comes in lira. It's $1,200 cash, and it comes from the electric blanket recognised throughout Australia as being a product of finest quality, Linda.
Thank you.
Here you go, Heather.
Now, make it easy, Don.
Don always makes it easy for everybody, let me assure you of that.
What type of bun...
What time?
Now hold it down. Just a minute. What type of bun is synonymous with Easter?
Hot crust bun.
Now, that's the easiest prize you've ever won.
If you'd like to be on Don's Wheel, Post Office Box 333, Richmond, Victoria, 3121. Don, speaking of Easter, just a reminder here in Melbourne on Channel 7, of course, the time-honoured appeal is on tomorrow for the Royal Children's Hospital. And the phones are being manned right now. 630291 is the phone number.
You want to hear about cooperation? You know, every year since I've been here, we have plugged another channel's telethon, and they left those phones open for us tonight. They told us they were going to do that.
Oh, that's lovely.
That they put the phones open because they knew we would put in a plug for them. So it's good.
That's 630291 for the 3DB Channel 7 Sporting Globe appeal for the Royal Children's Hospital, and also for Sydney viewers. Channel 10 is having a very special appeal tomorrow, and we hope that you'll give as much as you possibly can. There are other appeals around Australia, but they're the two we want to mention at this time because they're significant at this time being live, aren't they?
Yes, I think so. I think they're the two live ones. Sort of
Yeah.
Channel 10 up there in Sydney and Channel 7 down here. And the one down here, of course, is an enormous amount of money every year. So, of course, it's
You've got some big news for the show on Monday, haven't you, Don?
Oh, yes, terrific. On Monday night, live from the studios. Live from our studios in Sydney. And we hope that at a later date they will all be down here, but we're going to have the entire cast of the Love Boat series with us. All your favorites, Gavin McLeod, he plays Captain Stubing, and of course Doc will be along, plus Isaac the Barman and Gopher and Little Vicky and the beautiful Julie. And we're going to be choosing the winning entries in the Sullivan's Victory Ball. I can't wait for that. And Tom Sullivan himself, Stephen Tandy, will be here to announce.
You're going to the ball, by the way? The Sullivan's Ball?
I don't think I was invited, but I'll probably go. If
Is it okay to mention what we're doing? We're having this marvellous ball, you know, it's a promotional thing, at the Hawthorn Town Hall, and you've got to either go in uniform, you know, in sailor, soldier, or Air Force, or go in clothes which would be applicable for the 40s. You'd be fine.
40s, please.
Yeah. And it's going to be really good fun at the Hawthorn Town Hall, but it's only by invitation. But we'll be crossing, I think, during our program, won't we?
Yes, we are. We're crossing over to the party and taking the whole celebration. Listen, can I just do something? Because I've been practicing this for a week. Hang on a minute. See if I can get it right. And for all my deaf friends, have a happy Easter. Okay?
Lovely.
Lovely. If I'm learning how, I may as well use it. You know?
Now, just take 1 second. Just this one moment.
Yes.
For all my Irish friends watching this evening, a very, very happy Christmas. Party jacket. I've got Mrs. Fiona Teal of Anderson Road in Faulkner.
And I've got Mrs. Mona... Sorry? Oh, Fiona and Mona.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? Mona Marr of Narracoot.
Narracoot in South Australia.
Narracoot.
Very
Okay.
happy and holy Easter, everybody.
Have a
Good
nice
luck to you,
weekend,
Don.
kid. Okay,
Bye.
we'll see you. Take care. Good news, ladies and gentlemen. Come here. We going for a break? We're going for a commercial break. When we come back, I got to give one of these away. Hang in there. You make it so easy. You make it so free. I never thought that I'd feel so good inside and still feel me. I hope you all have a lovely holiday. Enjoy yourselves. Well, you got a couple extra days off. And by the way, I know everybody in the world must be telling each other this, and I think it'd be a great chance for us to do it. Watch the other guy when you get on the road, will you? Because, you know, when these holiday weekends come, the toll just rises, and it'd be nice. I mean, I'd really like to see you all here on Monday and on next Thursday, okay? So drive carefully and cut down on the old juice there for a minute. I'd like to leave you with the words of Andrew Peacock. I'd like to leave you... I could mouth anything now and it'd work, but I'd like to leave you with the words of Andrew Peacock, who rang Shirley MacLaine last night and said, "Have you got room in your act for another dancer?" Hey, good night. I love your faces.